Does this look familiar to you? In spite of my very poor drawing. But have you discussed before 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90 triangles? Hopefully you did geometry a little bit. Okay, everybody remember the ratios that correspond with anybody remember the ratios that correspond with the sides, length of sides? Wow, I really messed that up. Okay, start over. Anybody know the ratio of sides in a 30, 60, 90 or 45, 45, 90 and the corresponding angles that match out? No, be careful. Those are both special right triangles, but no, those don't correspond to each other. Derek.
45, 45, 90, the rays are the same.
Good.
I promise you, like, the way times right.
Yes, very good. Okay. So hopefully that looks familiar to you. 1, 1, and radical 2. So opposite the 45s are 1, opposite the 90 is radical 2. And think of it in this respect. If you plug it into the Pythagorean theorem, 1 squared is 1 plus 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Radical 2 squared is 2, so it matches up that way. Ainsley, remember the 30, 60, 90? Okay. And you'll see them presented differently depending on the case, but I'm just going to put the how the ratio would simplify at least here. Opposite the 30 is 1. Opposite the 60 is radical 3. And opposite the 90 is 2. So, and I think Ainsley and Derek both kind of made reference to it. It's obviously not going to work out to be 1, 2, and radical 3 every time, but it will be some multiple of that. So that's when you hear them include times x. That's what we're discussing here. I think if I think it's going to be fairly simple in those regards to that. And finding the missing sides of right triangles using these ratios. So we gotta find x. It's really hard to write under this camera. I hope these people in Washington realize this tremendous sacrifice we're making for video they're never going to watch. Hey Chris, the first thing you tell me is the answer to this problem when you get back, you don't have to do any of your homework. Yeah, right. Nobody else tell him though. Nobody tell him. All right. So, first thing, hopefully it's obvious to you, but what's the measure of the other angle triangle we're missing? 60. Hopefully you realize 30, 60, 90 go together now. Why do you know that though? Maybe a simpler reason you should know that. All three of the angles have to add up to 180, right? If we know 30 and 90, what's left? 60. So this should be a 60. Okay. So, in terms of the ratio, this side should be the 1, this side should be the 2, this side should be the radical 3. So since opposite 30 is 10, we know we need to multiply every side within that ratio by 10 to find their actual lengths in this case. What should x be and why? Oh, yeah, that's another aspect of it too. What's different about the triangle we drew as compared to this one? There is a subtle difference there. I'd say the orientation of it. The one we drew, the 30 is up here, and the one we're given in this problem, the 30 is down here, is in the 60s have switched places. So be careful about that. Any ideas? What's x? 20. Just have to double 10, right? What would they give us? Nope. We're just going to go with 20. Not asked for. What's going to be the length of this leg? The other missing leg. Disagree. 10 radical 3. Why did you say 10, Pascal? What type of triangle does that work for? The lengths of the two legs are the same if it's a 45, right? Doesn't work in 30, 60, 90. So I agree with Cade. Would be 10 radical 3. Alright, what if, let's do this. Same triangle. 30 degrees there. Let's say that this is 50. What's x going to be? And what's y going to be?
So 60
That'll be 60, I agree. What will x be? What will y be? X is going to be half of 50, right? 25. And y is going to be whatever x is times radical 3. So 25 and 25 radical 3. What about, let's do the...
So actually half of what
Yeah, the hypot, and you can look at it from either perspective. The hypotenuse is always double what the side opposite of 30 is, or the side opposite of 30 is always half of the hypotenuse. And then opposite 60 is always the side opposite of 30 times radical 3. One more like this. Find the two missing sides. Pascal says x is 8 and y is 16. Agree or disagree? Andrew says he agrees. I agree too. Hopefully, I don't know, hopefully you've had enough practice with these. They are pretty easy. But again, the big idea here with 30, 60, 90. The opposite sides are in the ratio of 1, 2, radical 3, 2, 2. Alright, let's try a couple 45, 45. Let's say 11. X, Y. Find X and Y. Pascal should be sitting on one of these right now. X is 11. And we didn't exactly specify this, but what type of triangle will a 45, 45, 90 also be? Isosceles, right? So it's got two congruent sides isosceles. So X is 11. What will Y be? 11 radical 2. Now, what if I go, let's say 18 radical 2 right here? What will the two missing sides be? Both will be 18, right? Again, because it's an isosceles triangle. Pretty simple idea, isn't it? I hope. You've got, I know these two for sure. If you look at, oh, there's the answers too. Let's try to not get that. So 7, focus is 45, 45, 90, right? Just like that one. 8, this is a bit peculiar. I can never get settled down. This side's radical 3. And it's 45, 45, 90 again, so be careful. Even though you see the radical 3, which might be a trigger to say, oh, 30, 60, 90. It's not. It's 45, 45, 90. Obviously, X is going to have what length? Radical 3. What do you have to do to find Y? Nope. Not radical 9. Radical 3 times radical 2 is radical 6. So I agree with that on number 8. So be aware of that. Yes, Kate. From this right here. So it's always this side or that side times radical 2. And since this was radical 3, that's going to be radical 3 times radical 2. Alright.